Hello everyone and welcome back to Gotham City Chronicles. Today from the core mission booklet we are doing The Purge, no association with the movies. Two-Face is in Ace Chemicals, up to no good, and we are bringing Batman of the Dark Knight Returns, you can just make out down here, to try and stop him. This is a single hero mission, so it's a little bit smaller scale. There isn't that many hired goons on the map to start with, although there is a reinforcement mechanic that's a bit different on this one. So the reinforcements can be brought in even if not a single person has been knocked out. It's also a little different in the sense that the villains actually get the first turn, and on that note there was a small error on the Raish and Ratcatcher video. Villains were supposed to get the first turn on that as well. It's very rare for that to be the case, but this is another example where you can tell by which side of this is displayed in the mission booklet. So it is the villains who actually get first turn. We'll go over how we've got Batman set up because he has to bring some set stuff. You can see most of the board except a couple of hired goons past the walkway up here. That's about it. There's 4 computers on the map, and that's the important part. That's what Batman wants to get to. Meanwhile, Two-Face just wants to stop him and open up reinforcement points. And the only natural item spawned on the map this time is a fire axe hidden up here, which weirdly doesn't count as a lethal weapon, so Batman can actually use it. But we'll worry about that if he actually gets it. So I think we've seen Dark Knight Returns Batman once before. He is pretty powerful in close combat. He has 2 levels of combo. He has investigation skills. He has 10 energy in total, though not 11 like the usual Batmans do. In this mission though, you start with all of it there. He also has to bring a medkit and hacking equipment, so he has those 2 as default, their normal gear. Then he has 4 slots for bat equipment and his utility belt. We're bringing what we mostly brought last time: tear gas batarangs, an explosive batarang, and the armband computer. So in total he's got 2 levels of hacking, which essentially means 2 automatic successes on those computers, which brings down the overall difficulty, because they're difficulty 6 I believe, so they might as well be difficulty 4, which means it's not too bad because he's rolling red dice for his complex thoughts. So he's set up pretty well. He's got orange automatic defense. Only hero we're bringing today, so there we are. So before we jump into villain turn 1 rather, here is the other side of the board. There's a computer here, computer up in the office, and then there's one right at the top left of the map on the gangplank or gangway above the vat of acid. So those are the 4 computers Batman's trying to get to. There's 3 sealed reinforcement points, a door here, the doors here, and the doors at the top right. Two-Face or any of his goons are able to can try and open one of those points for a complex manipulation of 3. So Two-Face can do it. Let's see who else can do manipulations. The prisoners, and that's it. So only they can get to the doors and try and open them up. And here's how the villain board is set up. They start with all their energy, but they only transfer 3 back between turns, so they have to be a little bit more careful with their spending. Two-Face is on the track twice, and depending on which one it is, he has different abilities. I think his complex thoughts and manipulations, yeah, they don't change. His attacks do, and his his traits do change slightly as well, based on what gets activated. The warning symbol is for reinforcement, and there is a pool of 3 reinforcements already, 4, off the table. So even if no one gets knocked out, there's still reinforcements that can get brought in, assuming one of the reinforcement points have been unlocked. At the start of the game, none at all. But there's 1 for each of the henchman group. Also, he's on the wrong side of his card, just noticed that there for now. There we go, that's how it should be. So with that, we're jumping into villain turn 1. So for villain turn 1, we are of course going to start with Mr. Two-Face. I presume the good side of the coin. And then after that, is there anything the thugs can do? They move 3, they'll be able to climb up to where Batman is. Yeah, sure, why not? And the thugs will go right after him. So, thugs and Two-Face, let's go see what they get up to. So Two-Face is right up there at the top of the board. He's going to come through here and try and open up this door. But first of all, this side of the Two-Face card has Tactician 2, so he can give some free movement to friendlies. He's going to move the Brute here just down to the southernmost room in the control room with the computer, and this one out into the gangplank there. So he needs to do a complex manipulation, just double checking. Complex manipulation, difficulty 3. He's rolling a white and an orange for this, and he's needing a 3. He got it. So that reinforcement point is now active. I'll double check if you get like a free reinforcement at the point at which it's rolled in between clips. Then he's done, basically, because he's done his move and his attack, his action. So it's over to the thugs, of which there's 2. We're going to have to move to the other side of the table. Alright, here we are. However, there was one thing I forgot to note. If a villain uses a computer, they can force a reinforcement point return without using the reinforcement warning card on the river. So that is the other reason to do it. That's a complex thought of 3, I believe. Yes. So Two-Face, the guards, and the thugs can do that. The thugs are activating though. They have a movement of 3. This is a climb of 2 because of the ladder. He's going to climb up and punch Batman. And this one is going to... Where is he going to go? He's going to head back the way. 1, 2... Oh, 3. Actually, I forgot they can move 3. There's no difficult terrain there. We'll turn this way a little bit. That's where he ended up. He's next to computer. We'll actually handle this one first real quick because it's just a straight up roll of rerollable white and yellow. It's not going to be good enough. Nope. Blank, 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 blank. Fair enough. The other one is punching Batman with 2 rerollable yellow dice. So once again we have to turn, sorry, because they're right on the edge of the board, right there. These are rerollable. It's possible to get a 2. No, he'll take that, he'll be happy with that, and Batman's just going to use his automatic defense. And block none of it, and take 2 damage. Excellent. So that's the first villain turn. We're over to Batman for his first turn. Alright, Batman's goal in his first turn is to get that computer in the top left, so we don't have to hang around this side of the board, quite frankly. He's going to use his free movement to move into here and get away from that thug who came up there, because he has 2 points of free movement, so it doesn't matter, but it costs 1 extra. And then he's going to punch the brute, I think. He'll punch him with 2 red dice. And see how we do. 3 martial arts brings it up to 4. His automatic defense brings it back down to 2. That is blockable. We'll have the villain throw in an orange to block that. Needs a 2. Got nothing. He'll have to take that then. Could have re-rolled it, but the villain doesn't have that much energy to play with. Batman will then spend a point to move. 1 to say hello to Mr. Prisoner. He's going to punch him for 2 as well, because this Batman has 4 spaces for melee attacks. Batman normal has 3. So that's up to 4, back down to 3. I think the villain will just take that. So he's off the table. Now unfortunately, let's see, to get to the computer would cost 1 more. I think Batman's going to have to wait there and just bank for next turn. So as we begin villain turn 2 with all their energy coming back, totally forgot to mention what the win conditions are. Batman needs to get 3 of the 4 computers, essentially, before his turn 8. So, the brutes. How many of the brutes are left on the table? 1, and he's not in a particularly useful place. So, the reinforcement card will be used for 2. So we'll put some reinforcements on the board in a second. Does Two-Face want another turn right now? The prisoners can open up the doors. Let's spend 3 on the prisoners. So the prisoners are activating after the reinforcement card. That's important because with the reinforcements we're going to bring on at least 1 more. So in this mission the villain gets reinforcement points equal to the number of open reinforcement points, which only gives them 1 reinforcement point, unfortunately. So a single prisoner is coming back onto the map up there with Two-Face because that's the only open exit. But then they get to activate. The one down here, sorry as I kick the camera, so your bottom left, he's coming down here and he's going to try and open a reinforcement point that I think you're just about, there we go. The other one is, he can't use the computer. No, he can't use the computer. So he's just going to go 1, 2, 3. Guard the gangway up there. So for them, they roll a white die and a re-rollable yellow. This is for the one on the bottom left. Doesn't need it. That's open. So that's 2 reinforcement points open. Incidentally, if you do the reinforcement via the warning card in the river, when there's no points open, you automatically open one of the points. And that's the other thing it can do. I think that's it for his turn though. There's no other prisoners on the board to activate. Yeah, they're done. So we're into Batman's turn 2. So Batman is going active. He's getting 3 of his cubes as a result. He's using his free movement to get to that computer. Actually, only needs to use 1 of it, but still. He's getting to that computer. Now, it's a difficulty of 6. He gets 2 automatic successes. 1 because of the hacking equipment that you're forced to bring, and 1 for his armband computer. He's rolling red dice. And he's needing to get a 4. So we'll try 2 and hope for the best. Wow, okay, well that's perfect. That makes a change. So that now disappears from the board. If he gets 2 more, we'll just put it on his board. And I feel a sneeze brewing, 1 second. Alright, sorry about that. I think the other thing he's going to do is use his medkit. Now I don't remember if using non-Bat Gadget items require like just paying 1 automatic manipulation that's a success. The medkit gets discarded when it's used, which is hopefully visible because of that icon. But it also has this icon, which means it's a permanent effect, so I believe you gain regeneration 2 for the rest of the game, is what I understand this to now mean. So we're going to use it. I'm not sure if you have to pay a cube or not, so I'm not going to. But I think that's going to be it for his turn, and what that does is it gives him regeneration 2, so at the kind of end step of his turn he heals 2 damage, which is going to heal back into his fatigue zone from the damage he took from the thug. And I think we're going to call that good for his turn. I want him to stay active for as long as possible, so I'm trying not to spend too much in 1 turn. So we're on to the third villain turn. They only regenerate 3 cubes, so that's why they've got to be careful with their spending. It's going to be a bit of a waste of a turn for them because of what they have to activate. It's going to be the Brutes, followed by Two-Face, who will also be 1 point by the time he gets pushed down the river. So, drop the card. 1 moment, there we go. So that will slide down like that. And then Two-Face is on the end. So the only brute on the table is right here. He cannot do complex thought or manipulation. He only punches things, so he's just going to stay there guarding that PC. So we're just going to move with Two-Face. He does have a ranged attack. So how much does he move? He only moves 2. He can go 1, 2. Now can he see Batman from there? That's a B on that tile. Does Batman have a B? He does, so he can actually see Batman, so he might as well shoot at him. And this is the other Two-Face who has Retaliate and Point Blank. Neither of those apply in this situation. He rolls 2 white dice 3 times. So, first one, 2 damage, automatic defense, blocked it. Second shot, nothing. Third shot, wow, 4 damage. He'll take it. He blocked 2 of it, but overall still took 2 damage. Not too shabby. That gives Two-Face quite the firing line from this point onwards, actually. But that's it for their turn, so it's over to Batman's turn 3. So of course Batman is still up on the gangway up there, but not for long. He's getting 3 energy back to play with, and he has free movement. It only costs him 1 to get down that ladder because of his parkour level 1. It's the only movement skill he has. So that's 1, 2. I've got to get the fire axe, unfortunately. So that's 1 to move 1, and then 1 automatic manipulation to pick it up. So he's over here, picked up the fire axe, which for some reason is not a lethal weapon, and it adds a red die to his attacks, and also lets him destroy tier 1 walls, and it's an infinite effect on it. Actually, yeah, and that's weird because that's what's on the medkit, but the medkit you discard when you use once. I'm not convinced you get the regeneration 2 forever. We'll play it like you do, because I think it's help that's needed. And no matter which hero you pick for this mission, the book tells you that they all start with a medkit. So that might be why. Either way, what else does he want to do this turn? He at most can move 2 more times. Yeah, let's do that. We'll move him 2 more times. 2 more squares. We're avoiding the difficult terrain here. We're going to go 1, 2. It's kind of obscured over there. He's behind barrels. Two-Face isn't going to go... Oh, actually, he totally could because of his other card on the track. He might get shot at again. He's going to have to do that. End of his turn. Regeneration will kick in again, which again just puts more cubes back in his fatigue zone. It's not giving him more to play with. So That's going to be it for his turn. At least he's got a fire axe now. Alright, villains, so they get 3 there and 1 there. They're obviously going to activate the guards who are able to do computer stuff. Might be able to make that happen. So they're going to activate for 1, push down, and Two-Face is going to activate again because he can do some damage to Batman. And he can give some hired goons a free move with his leadership skill. So that's what they're going to do. So first let's move those guards. They only move 2. And that's dangerous terrain, not difficult terrain actually. That's the best way for, because otherwise he has to climb these and he hasn't got parkour or anything. So I guess he's going to risk it. So he's going to go 1, 2. But the dangerous terrain might just kill him. Yep. I guess you could pay for a reroll. Wait, no, he has 1 automatic success. He's fine. It would have to have been a 2. Sorry. He is still fine. So that was 1 move, 2 move. He doesn't have range attack though, so he can't attack Batman this turn. That means it's over to the other one on the walkway. Will he stay up there and guard so really? Yeah, he's going to stay where he is to guard Two-Face. So that's this one. He's just doing nout. Although actually no, he could go to the computer. 1, 2. No, they can only move 2, so he can't. I bet you could get 1 away. And Two-Face is activating after him, so that his free movement from that's no good. He'll set up for future then. He'll go 1, 2. He'll start working towards the office computer because Batman can't get in there any other way. Two-Face, he is shooting, and on this side of the coin, or this card, he's only shooting once, but it's a white and a red. So that's a potential of 5 if it maxes out. And thankfully it only got a 2. Batman will take that on automatic defense. His bat armor holds, which is not the common result. So he actually took no damage there, and it's back over to him. So these single hero missions go fast. We're already at the halfway turn for Batman. It's his 4th turn of 8. He's staying active, so he gets 3. And he gets his 2 free movement, which he's going to use to go 1, 2. Now, this thug here, we'll just turn this way a little bit. He is going to make hacking even harder, so he's going to have to go. He only has 1 automatic success. And we now have that lovely fire axe, which I guess he's using the blunt side of, so we're only going to pay 1. So that's 1 red, the fire axe adds another red. You know, we're going to call that good, and we're going to initiate another attack, rather than do rerolls, and just roll the same again. Better, so martial arts up to 4, back down to 3 for his automatic defense. That would require 2 dice minimum to get good results on for the villain to keep that thug alive. Not happening. He's gone. Now, all he's got to do is hack. You know, I think he's going to have to rest this his next turn. So let's. He's got 2 automatic success, and he needs to get 4 more. He's rolling reds, so let's put in 3 because that leaves us 1 for a reroll, just to try and make sure this happens. It did, thankfully. 5, 6, 7 with the 2 hacking skills he's got, so that's the 2nd computer taken out. If at any time he does take out the 3rd incidentally, the game just ends, I believe. I don't think it's if he takes them all out. Let me just lean over and see. The tank purging system is disabled when... Let's see. Where does it... I'm trying to stretch over and read. It's easier if I just pull the book over and read it here. Let's see. This, you know, this is the old version of the book I'm looking at. The new version makes the victory condition much clearer. I really should look that out real quick, because I can't see where it says that, but I definitely remember reading it. The current step, end of hero, turn 8. The hero has disabled the purging system, but it doesn't say there how to do it. Oh, there we go. It's over on the right here. When only 1 computer token or miniature remains on the board, the tank purging system has been disabled. Yeah. So as long as he gets 1 more computer within 4 turns, or 3 turns, because I think he is going to rest, he will just win. So we'll see. So those 3 energy come over to the villain for their turn 5, and they're going to spend 2 to activate reinforcement points. Gives them 2 to play with. 2 prisoners are going to come back on, because the prisoners are then also activating for 2. And I'm going to try and do some stuff. So let's see. So that's where the reinforcements came on, and if you notice, the board started with 3 prisoners on it. So the reason we can have 4 is, again, this mission starts with one of each thug. It kind of in arrears that you can bring on as a reinforcement even if no one's been knocked out, so that puts the total technically at 4, so that's why there's now 4. And they're going to all just go attack, but we have to do it in order technically, so the first one who moves in does not get a sneak attack bonus against Batman, but the other 2 would. And this one up here is just going to stay up there, I think. Or, well, is he? He could go open a door. He's not going to get down to the door though. He might as well, he moves 3, so 1, 2, 3. He'll come down there. So the first one that's attacking with just a yellow and a white die is just getting the straight up dice roll here against Batman, and that'd be a big fat goose egg. He moves in, does the attack, however he has 1 automatic success because of sneak attack. Oh, which makes it 4. He'll spend on 2, so that's 3 orange dice on defense until well, okay. He still took 2 damage. And then the third one that came in also with 1 automatic success, so that's 3. We'll just take that on an orange. So he took 1. That's not so bad. It's not great, but it's not so bad, and he is obviously now surrounded by enemies. He actually has a defensive skill. I'm going to need to quickly check what it is, but we're still going to move into his turn anyway. So the skill I was wanting to check was this one. It's Sacrifice, so not relevant if you're only using 1 hero. Also, these should have been down here. So he is resting this turn. I'm not sure at which point the regeneration would kick in. I believe it's at the final step, so you only work with this so far. So he would normally get 5, but he's getting 6 because we're using the additional rolls from the new rulebook. Then at the end of his turn, 2 of his wounds go there, as I understand it. But that's all he's doing. So he's already done, and we're on to the second last turn for the villains. Alright, it's actually third last turn because they went first, so they actually get a turn 8. So, still got a bit to go. Now, let's see. The only thug on the table is in a very useless position, is the thing. Brute, there's only 1 brute and he's not doing too much either. That's a problem. Do you go, like, how much would you need to spend to activate the prisoners? 7. Like, that would really mess Batman up, is the thing. It might actually just swing the game. 2, 4, 6, 7. Leave with 1 cube. It would really, really mess him up. It'd be the only activation they could do this turn. Trying to win as the villain as well, that honestly seems like the most proficient or efficient thing to be done right now, other than get a bunch of reinforcements, which they can't really. So, yeah, we're going to activate the prisoners as the one and only thing they do this turn. But it's probably going to hurt. So we're back here. They're all going to activate and they're all going to get the bonus. This one's going to go at the end, also move in and also get the bonus. So they're going to hurt him real bad, is the thing. Starting with, let's just start with him. It's +1 to this, so that's 2. He blocked 1, took 1. And then the second of 4 attacks. Nothing, but it becomes 1 thanks to the sneak attack, which they blocked. Third attack, that's 3, that's 2 damage, that's not good. And then final one, oh no, so that's 5. Gonna have to spend 2 on defense to roll 3 orange, blocking against 5. Oh, okay, that's actually pretty good. So 1 additional damage. That's still 5 cubes in his damage zone now. Yeah, there's no way this would be possible without the permanent regeneration effect from the medkit, I think. So he's still kicking, and the villain has no energy to stop him doing anything in this turn, but he's not going to have nearly as much as he wanted. So Batman is going active. He only had 1 cube left in his fatigue zone, which goes over to his healthy side, and then 2 are going from his wounds to his fatigue. He'll get 2 more at the end of the turn though, thanks to that medkit effect. He needs to get past these thugs, but he's going to do it via violence. So he's going to spend 1, and he gets 2 because of the fire axe. Okay, so that goes up to 3, back down to 2. The villain can only have 1. He's got 1 cube left to spend, so he's just going to have to take that. Combo kicks in. He gets combo 2, so that's just 2 straight red dice. So again, that's 3, back down to 2. There goes another one. I don't think he can combo off a combo, sadly. So he's then going to try and do it again. Spend 1. Yep, he's definitely got that one. He'd have to roll goose eggs, which on red dice is hard, although not impossible. Combo attack. Good enough. So he's actually taken all the prisoners out. He's still got his free movement, so he's going to go 1, 2, down to here. Let's see. How many turns does he have left after this? He has 2 turns left after this. 1, 2. You know, I think he's fine. I think that's okay to call that good. So regeneration puts 2 more in his fatigue zone. He's done for now. So the villain does not have that many options thanks to going all in on beating Batman up. He has 4 cubes. 2 of those that have been spent are being rid of forever to demobilize the bog standard thugs. There's only 1 left on the board. He's right back at the bottom left of the table. He's no use, so he is gone, which makes things cheaper in general. Don't need to activate the brute. Two-Face can see and can shoot Batman, so he'll activate for 2, and honestly that will be the only activation this turn, is to do that. So again, Two-Face is in a square with the letter B. Batman has a B right there, which I think is just about visible, which means he can be seen, and this is the card for Two-Face that is 2 white dice 3 times. Nothing. 2, and let's just roll the last one as well. Nothing. Okay, so 2 damage coming in. He's just going to have to take it, and he is taking it. All 2 damage of it right in the face. He's been shot a lot. I never bring the back cape, which helps against ranged attacks on ones where he actually gets shot. But that's all for the villain. So it's over to the hero's second last turn, turn 7. So Batman's goal is essentially this computer here because the other one's too far away. He's going active, he's getting 3 energy. That gives him 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to play with. His free movement gets him there, and that's it. He's going to have to spend 2 to move into the room he wants to be in. 1, 2, hello Mr. Brute. I don't need to hack it this turn. I have 1 more turn. But I need this brute to be done with, so he's going to spend 2, which is 2 red. The fire axe gives him a 3. He's hoping for high numbers. That's pretty good. So that's 6 when you add on martial arts. The brute takes off 2, puts it down to 4. Not impossible to be defended against, but is it? This is where you put yourself in the villain's footsteps. I was going to say no, in the villain's shoes. That's what you make footprints with. Would he spend the 2 cubes he has left to try and keep that brute alive? You know what, he is. Yeah, he is. Because he can activate and punch Batman if he lives. And living just means it's harder to hack on the final turn. So he needs to block. He needs the best result. He needs 4. Oh, so close. No cubes left to do a reroll. I am curious, like, this counts, so he's done. Would a reroll have made it a 2? No. Alright, fair enough. So they've also been turned to the other side because that was the last of them on the board. But Batman survived. He's got two cubes left. Does he just go for it? If he goes for it on this turn, he can't go for it on his last turn, and he doesn't have any rerolls. It would be 2 red dice needing a 4. Or he could wait till next turn, do 3 dice with 1 reroll. He's going to wait. I think I've decided he's going to wait, but I am going to roll the dice just to see what would have happened, because this might come back to bite me. But yeah, we're definitely resting. There will be another turn. He would have done it. That would have been a win right there. That's not what's happening though. We're going into the villain's final turn. So the villain just needs to be as disruptive as possible with 3 whole energy. 2 is being spent, actually 2 is being spent here. Oh no wait, I was going to demobilize another card. I think you're only allowed to do that once. I don't quite remember. I think you're only allowed to do it once. So, yeah. The guard, actually they can't move enough. The guards or Two-Face, they both move 2. Neither of them can get close enough to interrupt. Two-Face can shoot him. That would take off some energy actually, if he hits. He's going to go, yeah, it has to be Two-Face. It has to be. because Two-Face can shoot him, and if he gets a decent enough shot on him with the red die, that might be enough energy that Batman just can't do it. So Two-Face, 1, 2, orange lines. He is shooting through the door at Batman in the back, and this is the card where he's rolling a white and a red. Not much chance of the white being successful, oops, but if the red is, could ruin the plans. That's pretty good. 3 damage against orange. Oh no. Well, that's 3 injuries right there. Okay, that's into his wound pool. We might as well keep going then. We just come this way a little bit, because we're into the final turn of the game, is hero turn 8. He started with 2 energy. He's going active, so he gets 3, and he has enough. So that gives him 5. So he's spending 4, and that leaves him 1 for a reroll. So that's 4 red dice, needing 4. It is astronomically unlikely this will not be a success, but you should never say that before rolling. Okay, we're good. That's 6, that's 9. Plus his automatic 2, that's 11 of what was needed to be a 4. So he's hacked that computer right there, and as a result has managed to defeat Two-Face by stopping the purge happening in Ace Chemicals. So there you have it, a hero victory. However, that is on the contingent that the medkit effect takes effect for the whole match. If it didn't, he would have been knocked unconscious at some point, which means you do a forced rest turn, which might have been... Well, he did do 1 rest turn of his own volition, but depending on how that works, it might have meant that overall he would have less energy for that roll at the end there. So it might have done things a bit different. Didn't need the batarangs at all for this mission. Should have brought the bat cape to defend against the ranged attacks, because didn't realise Two-Face is actually pretty decent at them. And you know what? Oh no, he had point blank, but I think point blank isn't adjacent, it's same tile as, because that would have given him a bit of extra damage. As would have made a difference though, because he still had 1 cube left over. 1 cube left over and 1 in fatigue, yeah, so those 2 would have gone away. But he didn't really need the batarangs. The tear gas was just there in case he got clumped up. With hindsight, what he should have done when he was fighting the 4 prisoners on the 1 tile, spend 1 die to drop a grenade at his feet and just troll face. And do 2 yellow damage. Well, it was only 1 yellow damage to them all, but it's all true damage, so it would have been a reasonable chance of taking most of them out. Still might have had to spend some cubes, but that's another bit where he could have been more efficient if I'd remembered that he had tear gas. So yeah, some things could have been done wrong there. If he hadn't taken the fire axe, it definitely would have been much more difficult as well. But it's nice to actually have the rare hero win sometimes, and Two-Face, I'm sure, will have another chance in the future. Well, actually, I was going to say to fight the heroes, but among the additional stuff you got from the Season 2 Kickstarter was a short 3 or 4 mission scenario where you actually play as the villains, and you don't just fight the heroes and the cops, you actually fight other villains. And I think I have everything I need painted up for that, other than the alternative Scarecrow sculpt. So if I do those, we can actually maybe play some missions as the villains. I think it's them versus the Court of Owls, just to see how that plays out. Because I know Two-Face is usable in that, the Joker is, Scarecrow, Bane, and all of them are painted. So yeah, I think we can probably do that as a change of pace from the base missions. See how the villains play. We won't have back gadgets to rely on. That may be quite fun. We'll see. If you want to see that, you can let me know in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. I sincerely hope you enjoyed The Purge, and we'll see you in the future for some more. Ta-ta for now.